Welcome back to Workers and Resources. We are back in our republic, last time having built a chemical plant next to Prietin. And Prietin is growing fairly large. But we still need more workers here. So I was thinking about this and thought that maybe we could add more residential buildings here. Because we can run the chemical plant at a higher capacity, 30 more workers. That would allow us to have another 90 workers be soaked up by the chemical plant, 10 more for here, let's say 40 in total, and 5 more here, 45, which is 135 extra workers for this area. I was thinking that we should probably, if we grow this area up, to have more workers, add a kindergarten, add a school, also add a university, and add maybe a large police station if we need to, depending on if it's necessary. It's basically growing larger than Svidava. Svidava has fewer citizens living here. And also Svidava is trying to take care of the students over in this area, and it's basically failing. So I think this area should at the very least get its own university. Its own small HQ of the party, to allow students to get the education they need without having to go onto a school bus locally in this area. We do have room here. I do wonder if all of the facilities are like sufficiently staffed. Mostly the police station is always a problem. Like the indoor pool and, well, the other facilities are usually fine. The shopping center should be fine as well. That one grows with like the amount of population, and we can not quite have double the amount, but pretty much have double the amount. But the police station is the dangerous one. Let's definitely increase the capacity of workers here and see how it does. But I think a small HQ of the party to reduce traffic, to reduce the load on the other university, and this is basically taking over for Svidava as the main town in the area. And I don't know yet if I want to add smaller buildings or larger buildings to the area. All I know is that I want to add said university. But maybe not on this path, because that path is supposed to get demolished at some point. These need to be removed. And then we can remove this whole section of footpath in one go and replace it if we want to. Get rid of that road and that road. And then we'll probably put some storages here. But back to the small HQ. I think this footpath is going to stay the same, so I guess we could just drop it next to our existing school. Drop it here. Get a dirt footpath for construction and set that up. Definitely something we should have. I also checked my microphone. It should be working fine again. I didn't change anything. Just after I closed the streaming software OBS, it was fine again. So something seemed to have gone wrong with the audio connection there. Okay. We'll increase the footpath, walking speed to this area, hopefully, by adding this footpath here. Should allow them to walk quickly to the work sites. We don't have infinite amounts of money in US dollars yet. Still spending a lot. Also paying back the loan that we took out. The price of electricity might have gone down in the meantime. Yep, the price of electricity dropped a little bit, but it's still very good in rubles. 2 to 7, still worth it to export it in US dollars more than in rubles, I think. That price difference is also very close compared to that one. Well, I guess it's also just almost more than one, a little bit less than 1 ruble, so it's not that drastically different. So if we have crime issues in this area, we will have to change things. We will try and resolve the serious crimes. We do have enough workers here. We'll have to see, and if it was just me running this at half capacity being a problem. But I mean, if we grow the population, then it's probably a better idea to set up a large police station, same as for Svidava. Instantly. This area has like 300, 450, 550 workers living here. And this one is 2, 4, 6, almost 800. So it's only a matter of time before a crime wave hits this area and causes problems. So I think I would like to drop a police station in this area. Probably right next to the other police station. There's a dirt road in the way. Still trying to save money. Our loan is climbing continuously. And we're out of money again. Just taking out multiple loans at the same time, it's fine. Within the next year, we will start to run out some of these loans, and then the loan repayments will slow down. Criminals in Pitansk. I right-clicked and that caused the camera to stop. Pitansk over there. %, right here. 0% loyalty people are the ones that are like former prisoners apparently. 89% criminality. This area should be covered by a police station. Should be. Okay, do we have the same issue here? Like, my guess is that these areas have the problem with like too many students getting shoved into the university. No, this one's fine. I guess I also need to set up secret police in Prietin to make sure that the university only gets to those that deserve it. Okay, so we just have a general lack of like highly educated workers here. Let's cancel the cases that are too far gone. Maybe you can solve some of those. Maybe I should get a bunch of migrants here. We do have one building set to only accept highly educated workers. It's probably a good idea to make sure that crime doesn't become a problem. They can reach the police station. Okay. I will also switch over to just regular asphalt footpaths instead of street lamps. The street lamps are overkill. They're very pretty, but they're not necessary. So 200-ish days to get rid of the first loan, let it run out by itself instead of repaying it. And hopefully that increases our or decreases our spending rather. Because if the loans start running out by themselves, we're currently spending 3 million per month, which is very high. Maybe we can put a stop to that. I could repay a lot of loans manually by taking out loans, but I'd rather wait, I think. Maybe I'll shift some US currency into rubles with the aluminium trade. But I think I'd rather build some of these buildings first for the money that we still have left. Let's add the secret police. I guess it can be on this road too. Get a gravel exit road, and that should be good enough. And then, once all of these have been built, our potential issues in this area have been dealt with. We will... Okay, let's try and solve some minor crimes and get some people locked up. Once everything has been built, we will probably add some residential buildings to this area. Could have some here and here around the heat exchanger. We still have a lot of heating capacity left, so moving in some more people should be okay. Everything is hooked up here to heating. And then maybe we'll start working on expanding the farm, getting the grain silo, getting the fabric factory up in this area. And then we can remove the fabric transport up to this area for this plant. If we get both of these built. And we'll need to set up a pretty farming area. Right now it's mostly grid-like. There could be an improvement made here. If I start planning out the farming area here and try to follow the curvature of the road a bit, try to free place it maybe without like grid snapping, and then use the roads to intersperse other fields to make it look nice. I think we can do something similar to our existing first farm, where I went with like a little bit more of a grid-like nature near the end, but something like this should work. We'll see. Maybe try to make it a little bit more organic even. That's a lot of traffic. Our vehicle plant is building 6 more cars before it starts building buses again, at which point we will lose less money per month. Which should hold us over until the loan repayments run out. Some of these loans going away will be really nice. This intersection is really good. Bunches up all of the small vehicles, then they arrive here, and then they go through in one clump of cars. This is not hooked up to water or sewage. I think this is probably like an obsolete place now. Does this fire station still make sense? I don't think it does. Who's covering you? That one? So the factory there, is it covered? Barely. I'll leave it. It's fine. Could have a few more workers, but Brospin will stay the way it is. We get our dedicated waste distribution office set up, just in case. If this starts running full, we have something that can be increased easily. Because our existing distribution office has run full. We might have to add some more trucks here anyway. Because apparently our production of lumber is quite high. So we could be exporting a lot more for that. to the customs house and earning us a bit of money, because lumber seems to be quite good. And the trucks do make a lot of sense. Alright, the waste removal here ongoing. Let's speed up these ones. And then we can remove this lengthy footpath here. And maybe set something up in the area that looks a little bit better with some housing in mind. And I do think I will build some resource storages in this area, so we don't have to import those anymore. We don't need a resource storage for boards because we already have them. But prefab panels and bricks. Do we need that much? I want one for steel, I want one for prefab panels, and then I want one for boards, which we already have, and we need a small one for bricks, I think. This is what we need. And if we still want, we can build another storage here once the footpath is gone. That might hold boards, but I mean we have the board storage right here. But we could then force export everything and just have the additional storage, but it would be a waste to build another one. We have a board storage, it's fine. We'll transport a bunch of prefab panels here, some bricks. And we'll try and fill this with cheap steel from the western border, which we then can also export to the east in reverse. Maybe I should wait with all of the constructions until we get the materials. Let's pause you. Let's pause you. And we'll pause you before you start building. Because we can just get all of the materials except for the steel from existing storages. So we will build the storages first. And we will need electricity in this area for them to allow us to load and unload rather quickly. It is October. I still have to change the power line at some point. We still have the large power line coming down here. That will be changed. And yes, I'll just put the electricity here because I don't want another storage in this area. Maybe I'll regret it, but there's so much space here, it should be fine. Underground wire will be fine. We have enough time to make that happen. And it's cheaper than getting the steel, I think. So we'll start building up this area, bringing resources here. The distribution office for the boards and wood, we'll have to draw the construction materials to this area, which will take a while. But the waste distribution can then be handled by you. So we'll have a nice chunk of room to put things in place. So is this working with the prison buses now, or are you still preferring the asphalt road? My guess is you probably still, yeah, you still prefer the asphalt road. Let's see when you get out of here. Do you drive around this way, or do you, oh, you will probably drive out this way. Oh no, no, they take it, they take the shortcut. Very good. Has that reduced the route distance down to 440? 5 buses. That's 300, so it's not quite a consistent supply of workers. But then again, the clothing factory probably extends the the route length quite a bit. Where are the prison buses? Get out, get in, yeah. So, concrete plant first. Then the rest in the asphalt plant. And then you go back to the prison, or the end station in this case. And another prison bus is out. Cool, cool. Seems to be working as intended. Okay. Keep going then. As I said, we'll build the storages. And then bring resources here and then continue with construction projects in this area, just having to pay for steel pretty much. Steel and some cement and bitumen for the asphalt and concrete. Are any of the other construction materials good potential export goods? So we have bricks. Factor of 5, so about normal. Boards were really good. Because it's only a factor of 3, so it's really good to export in US dollars. Steel. Factor of 1 to 5. And prefab panels. Prefab panels 150, 300. Better in rubles, I think. So 1 to 5, slightly more or less. Similar. Okay, let's expand our board exports if possible. Let's tell our maintenance office to help with that. Prietin has a lot of workers that can be put to work in an emergency. So let's send some of them to the distribution office here. We don't need to get any new trucks to start this up. Just the existing ones will do fine. And hopefully everything will be okay. I love the new songs, they suit the immersion really well. They're still upbeat, but not as funky. I guess I could have a board storage here to make it universal, but nah, it's fine. It's only a little bit of extra travel distance, so there's no point to it. Okay, Xenia is still out of coal, which is a concern. But we can in emergency switch over to coal imports. I guess I should do that, like, if this runs out of coal, make sure it's always 10% filled. And if I do get a warning message, then I know something is wrong. But we don't really have any dump trucks in a distribution office, if I remember correctly. Just get a dump truck. 250,000. So expensive. We'll stick with these type of vehicles. And yes, you will also distribute coal in here to make sure it stays filled if we can't keep up with the coal supply. Because running out of coal during winter? Please don't. This is quite the transportation route from the customs house to import coal. Is it better to import coal from the east or west? Oh, coal is a really good export good to the west as well. So we should import coal from the east and then drop it into the west. That's really good profit actually. Okay, distribution office here. Not sure if you are already assigned to this. You are not. Do not sell. Waiting for the dump truck to arrive. Dump truck is here. Loading coal from the east. And unloading it into the coal storage. 10%. Now, judging by that coal price, I should export that to a western border instead of the east. I shouldn't export it anymore at all to the east at all. Like, feels like it's wasting the money. You basically get not much extra in rubles. It should be at least like 60,000 rubles already. So I think this might be a waste of money. But at least it keeps our train going. And setting up a train route to a western border right now is not in the cards. I also need to set up another distribution office here. Our existing one hauling finished goods and coal is getting overworked. Mostly because coal distribution is not keeping up. So we'll set up another distribution office here. That one will copy the tasks from this one, and then we'll move all of the covered hull trucks in here and remove the covered hull truck orders from this and the dump truck orders from this. And we basically have increased capacity for either vehicle type. The refrigerated truck will move in here as well. The two refrigerated trucks, I guess. Since our covered hull trucks are not doing that much. Need to take out more loans. I would like to stick below 5.3 interest rate, so I'm not taking out one loan right now, just yet. Drop back below 5.3 for a split second there. And tomorrow it might drop below 5.3 again. And I'll take out another loan. That's like just a me thing right now. It's not urgent to abide by that, but I would like to. No, it did not drop below that, okay. So our distribution office for waste is done. We'll grab you. Copy the tasks over here. And relocate our waste trucks over that are currently not busy. Then we'll remove all tasks that are like related to other materials. And we basically are left with one task for waste distribution, waste handling. And from you, we will remove the waste transportation task. That means once the garbage trucks come back, they don't have another task, and we can relocate them. And you can get more open hull trucks. Because we do have enough material that needs transportation. Potentially earning us a bit of extra cash. So we're not getting that many workers in Swidava anymore, which is the default bus stop for construction tasks. I guess it's not true, like 13 workers per busload is a good enough amount. Yeah, definitely need more trucks here. Could be exporting so many more boards. Wood storage has run full too. Definitely slacking. Definitely lagging behind a bit. So we need to fill this up with open hull trucks, pretty much. Once you're done unloading, like right now, when you come back, you're in here. Out of cash. That is fine. We are still always exporting electricity for now. Just have to wait. And sometimes a tiny amount of oil. And boards. 1.7k US dollars. Seems reasonable. I mean, the traffic is getting a little bit bad here, but still probably okay to drop down a bunch more trucks to export boards. Don't really want to sell them to the east. Also in preparation for picking up the resources from the eastern side and bringing them up here, we need a bunch of trucks. Don't think there are any tasks in here for that yet. You're moving the boards down to the eastern side. Let's rename you. And do the same for the other open storages next to Prostolova. And soon we can grab a bunch of resources here. We don't need to grab the boards. We don't need to grab the steel, just the prefabs and bricks. Which I guess we could also grab from the brick factory. That might be better, so we don't have to drive as far. Just grab it from the brick factory and the prefab panel factory. Yeah, that'll make more sense. We'll buy a bunch more trucks, as our money allows us to. It's marked in red, but nothing is overdue. Okay, now it fixed it. No crime issues here right now. What about here? Okay, so the large police station maybe also not quite necessary yet. But I will keep it planned out and in mind. It's definitely something that we will potentially need. We should really finish the construction of the HQ to make sure that we don't run into any education issues here. Maybe I should keep building that without resource transportation, just to get it done. Because the amount of highly educated workers in this area is really good, so they wouldn't have a problem. Might even be able to shift some people over from Svidava to Prietin to get some additionally highly educated workers. Hello Kianos, thank you very much for the raid, much appreciated. I saw that you were streaming Race Room. How did it go? You had an event race? GT3 I think it was. Or maybe the new Porsche? I couldn't quite... I think it was GT3. Or DTM 2021. But yeah. Thank you very much for the raid. And welcome everyone to Workers and Resources. a game where we build a city with the restrictions of a planned economy. So you don't plop down a zoning law, a zoning area, and people build whatever they want themselves. Everything has to be placed manually. And if you play on the hardest setting, you have to bring all the resources there, the machinery, and the workers to construct everything up by hand. And I like this so much more than Cities Skylines 1. Complexity is really up my jam. Lots of complex production methods. Not just for the how the resources interact with each other, but also for just that you have to puzzle the buildings together and make them work. Because they are based on real-life buildings, and real-life buildings are really large. So if you place down a coal mine with a coal ore processing plant into a simple storage and then into a train loading station, it takes up a lot of space. And then you need a lot of waste removal from this area, because coal mines make a lot of waste that is not just coal. Lots of construction waste in this case happening. Lots of extra gravel and stone coming out of the mine that needs to be dealt with. And that's all in the game, and it's great. We have our singular harbor here in the middle of the map, which deals with bauxite transportation. Because we have a bauxite mining area up here that we still need to expand at some point probably. But that's out of the question right now, I think. I think our bus exports have started again. No, they haven't. We had just had a really good export last month. Our US currency not looking too great though, but that's because we are currently building something while not having any money for it. Maybe I should wait for the storages. Okay. You go here, 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 and the power line. Okay. That will presumably allow us to get everything constructed in time. Still need to remove the footpath. I think we can do that now in one step. Apparently not. Why is it split here? It's just split here in general. I guess then we'll remove it in 2 steps. That's fine. And cancel that. We'll remove it up to here. We'll leave it a little bit sticking out because it has the right curvature. Don't want to get messy. It should stay the way it is. We'll start bringing steel and prefab panels here soon. Let's make this prefabs. No, let's leave it steel. Steel as close to the road as possible in case we need firefighting services. So nothing will go into the steel storage right now. We will start importing steel gradually as we earn money, and then maybe we will start allowing the... well, maybe we will start pushing steel over to the eastern side as well. If we can buy enough for it. $170 days left. 5 more months, 6 more months. 6 more months, less than 6. And then our loans will run out by themselves. We had to pay 240,000 extra to have that loan for 5 years, but I think like the inflation is like has already dealt with that. Probably earned us money. The heating plant. Yes, go to the heating plant. So that's a concern, that we're not transporting enough coal there. But it should still be enough to last us through winter. We need to get more dump trucks and bring more coal here. It's worth it to have it on the western border. So we just need to extend the amount of vehicles. And for that we need our new distribution office, which is currently being built up. So we'll have that soon. Our dump trucks are all busy carrying gravel and coal to the west, which is ridiculous. I should just make a gravel processing facility over there. Save a bunch of fuel, but I mean, I've said it multiple times already. I just like the fact that that's like another challenge, like one industry building at most could be interesting. We're doing that except for clothing factories. We do need more there. But it would encourage centralization and making sure that all the industries run at full capacity, and probably also discourage exports. Okay, what do we have here? We have the issue that, well, traffic through this area has become quite high. And a lot of people want to do a left-hand turn, and they're getting held up by sideways traffic. I think it's probably better if the side roads have priority. Because there's not that much traffic here. It looks like it, but once it has cleared up, these vehicles will be able to get through here, no problem. It just takes a bit. First storage is up. Other storage is nearing completion too. And then we'll have a nice amount of resources in this area over time. How are we dealing with the board exports? Still not able to keep up. Well, I guess the amount of wood is going down, so it looks like we finally have a few additional vehicles to make things happen. Could be a few more, I guess. But we want to buy them with US currency and we don't have any right now, so we'll have to wait. Limit the amount to only steel. This is the last storage to be filled. And then these two. And the electricity. Then we'll set our construction offices to this. And our maintenance offices. And we'll put in a baseline of steel here. But we can then regulate a little bit easier. So you need to basically import anything from Murmansk, the west. Well, anything. You need to be allowed to import steel. That's what it is. The other materials we are bringing here. And we'll tell you to unload 10% here. And that we will increase over time as we gain money. We'll wait for the construction of the other ones to finish first. Still need steel here. One more delivery of steel. Yeah. Building these was a little bit expensive, but I think it'll be worth it. Here's a steel import. Here's a fuel import, very expensive. And construction materials for brick and fabric import. Yeah, we don't have enough right now. Okay. Fuel tanker is done. We'll load steel as we go. I should take out... I will refresh my loan. 200k. Get rid of this one. Yes, the interest rate is now much higher. No, it's lower actually. Oh, that's really good. That means we are improving our cash. That's a good sign. Now we'll have enough steel to finish the constructions, get the other construction materials over, make the rest a bit cheaper. Didn't realize we were improving by 0.3 on that front. It's really good. Thank you for the 0.001 tons of steel. Hopefully we can bring the rest here now. I'll hold off on getting a few more trucks, I would think. There's our waste truck that needs to go over here. Finally came back. Yeah, waste transportation is still sufficient. I mean, more board transportation would earn us more money, but these things need maintenance, so I don't know. At 1.7k per truckload, they earn a lot more money than our oil tankers. Well, for direct transportation. The oil tankers still bring it to the power plant, and from there we convert it into more money. I think I'll add more trucks. I guess I'll add one more truck. The raw. It's all coal town. One ambulance. Very nearby. Did not get here for some reason. You know what? I'll give you a footpath. Well, I guess the vehicle won't go there, but the vehicle should just be able to drive to these, no problem. Okay. We'll have to spend some money on Western vehicle replacements soon. Hopefully we'll have enough money to finish the university. Okay. It'll set up electricity, it'll set up bricks. Just need the prefab panels and we have everything we need. And for here we basically only need the steel, but I guess we will continue construction with imports. Because I think resolving our higher education issue is quite important. And yeah, we're getting a lot of steel here right now, so the money is being spent on things. It might not be necessary to get the steel and have it sit around here, but it's nice. Construction office. Go get the steel from here. Let's check our maintenance office. Lenin statue. Sure. Mars 309. Lenin statue. Okay. Yeah, do maintenance first. That is your main task anyway. But then again, the resource transportation will take quite a while to get some construction material up here. It's okay. I still think we need more trucks. Let me lower the amount of wood in here. Let's put a 3:7 ratio. So less wood in general, but more capacity for the sawmill to turn things into boards. Which would in turn tell... would allow this building to tell it, the distribution office to send more vehicles to it. If there's a need for it. Now that we have a consistent amount of resource deliveries, that'll be the right thing to do. Yeah, you definitely... If the warehouse ever runs full, we definitely need to export that in rubles. That is going to be a good thing. But we're barely able to meet our demand, so at least we have our own chemicals. Did our first bus export this month. Very good. Let's take out a loan, and another one, and another one, and a fourth one, and a fifth one. And we're back down to 5.3 for the next loan. We have taken out 103.5 million rubles in loan. Our rate that we can still borrow went down to 32.3. But yeah, I think this should fix itself soon. I hope. Let's grab the distribution office and go on a tour to pick up the buildings where we want to pick up from. It would probably be best to pick it up from the storages, but these ones are closer. That's the technical service. Load prefab panels, load bricks. At any point you can start driving at 0%, it's fine. They should continuously produce. And then you transport those materials over here. Prefab panels. And then bricks. Okay, got our brick delivery set up, got our prefab panel delivery set up. We might fill these storages as much as we can, and then set up a warning that they shouldn't run empty. And now we just have to set the construction offices to this. Steel on steel, bricks on bricks, and prefab on prefab. Copy the sources to the maintenance construction office. And the other maintenance construction office will do manually because it has a different source of workers, so we'll just assign the resources here in the same step. And I will rename the open storage for boards as well. If I set this too low, right now we can have up to 3 truck deliveries for wood coming here, I think. Can't set it any lower. It will take a while to get more wood to this area, because they are now going to be busy hauling prefab panels, bricks to this area, and steel. We got all the materials for the HQ. So we will speed up construction by sending all of the buses we can and opening this up for workers. And after this is done, our bus route is becoming obsolete, the school bus route. So I think I'll stop that right now. Let's see. Yeah, we have a lot of buses here. All of them can go into either storage. That's not quite enough, but yes, go here, and then the water truck. I guess we don't have another vehicle depot. I'll drive you to, oh, your western water truck. You should stay in this area. I guess I'll give you a free vehicle depot for now. Let's put one in this area where we had vehicle depots previously. And then you can stand around here until someone needs you. Until you need to replace one of the water trucks inside our technical services. There's still 9,900 tons in the forest. 9,900 tons of extra wood. But I think I'll go ahead and plant some extra. Because it will take a while to grow, so it will make sense to have that. Let me check the price difference on scrap metal, if there's anything funky going on there. Metal scrap. That's a factor of 1 to 3, so it's also more. It's also better to sell it in US dollars, but this shows us that we could import metal scrap in rubles, and it might be a good idea to import metal scrap here, refine it into steel, and then have steel from it. Like, this might be a just profitable trade route, importing metal scrap in rubles, refining it, and then selling it or storing it. But it is, if you sell it in US dollars instead. Could be a thing. Seems like that could be something. Still transporting steel. I think instead of Western resources and Eastern resources, DO, not the vehicle, the distribution office. I think we'll rename you DO Openhau West. That should be an easy to identify name. How's the other distribution office here? I need a bunch more dump trucks, because transporting the coal is much better. There we go. Copy the tasks. Relocate the covered hull trucks and the refrigerated trucks over. And remove the trucks, the tasks that rely on aggregates. So no more coal tasks or gravel tasks in this. But the meat delivery will remain here. Prefab panels, yeah, that one also goes away because that's coal. And from here we remove the covered hull truck tasks and the meat tasks. So we only leave the aggregates. And that means you are DO aggregates east and you are DO covered hull east. And now we can extend the amount of vehicles we have in here. You are finished. You are finished too. Go over here. That's okay. Add more dump trucks. That'll speed up the coal deliveries again. And then we don't have to import it from the western border. We might even be able to export some of it. Because the train export is not that good anymore. So we'll have like one dump truck up here. Potentially exporting coal. Either carrying coal into the storage if there's not enough, or starting to shovel the coal out if there's too much. We don't have any coal in the storage right now, but our heating plants are able to keep up, so at least there's that. You're still an old dump truck from the west. And by old I mean you're a modern one, but probably ought to replace you with a western variant. Spent 2 million on those vehicles. Quite expensive. But it had to be done. You are having issues with sewage. No, sorry, garbage, not sewage. So we will add a waste storage for you. Yeah, I wish I could place that here. That would make so much sense. Okay. We'll deal with the waste. Should be quick to build. And then we can start the other constructions, like the secret police. Which we need to finish to make the university work as it should. Let's take a look at the university over here. It's still a little bit overfilled, but it's not nearly as bad as it was, so I believe it should now be fine. Yeah, that should be okay. So we have enough highly educated workers in Svidava, presumably. We'll limit the amount of students here by reducing or increasing the loyalty requirements. And then once the secret police is up, this will actually start happening. Right now this building is spewing out pollution because it's probably running full on waste and then spilling garbage around and reducing the life expectancy in surrounding buildings. Don't have another garbage truck here, do we? I do need to build a technical service for the area. Just to have it. Yeah, you try driving here right now to just load the waste from this one building. I guess this technical service has everything in range, except up here. So yeah, I think I'll build a technical service over here. It needs to be in range of the repair station, so that any vehicle can get repaired. So we'll also plan one of those. Doesn't need electricity, that's fine. I mean, it could use electricity, but it doesn't need it. Waste has been picked up. Hopefully the storage won't take too long. Let's increase the priority before anything else, even before the secret police. And make sure they build that up quite quickly. And yeah, we'll replace our small police station too, I think. Now that we're getting construction materials up here over time, we should definitely do that. It'll take a while until the materials arrive. I'm also a little bit worried, like I just saw a vehicle heading here with not enough bricks loaded. Maybe driving directly to the brick factory is a bad idea. If it doesn't produce fast enough. We are lacking gravel. That is a task for our distribution office, which it is assigned to do. Unloading gravel here. And we did add a bunch of vehicles, so presumably one of them is not going to Kaisinia aggregate storage, but all of them appear to be bringing either coal or gravel to our western border. Okay, one truck is heading here to bring gravel. So it'll take a while until we have all of the materials transported. I think I'll pick them up from the storages. We'll have a short resource transportation route from the warehouses to the storages, and from here we grab it up from the western storage, which is slightly further to travel to, but at least it'll be consistent. So no more prefab panel or brick factory. Instead, we'll load these materials, leaving at least 20% in here. Well, driving there if there's at least 20% here. They can load more than that. And we should also bring steel here. But for that we don't have the money right now. So I'll just assign the steel storage and we'll enable the unloading at some point when we have enough US dollars and steel stored already. And there we go, construction materials. Nice and quick. Well, not really quick, but still nice. Yes, we're trying to deal with the waste storage. Maybe there's another waste storage somewhere here where we can temporarily hook up to. This one is probably too far. What if... oh, there's no road, there's no exit on that side. Never mind, I was about to say, like, what if we had a footpath here? But no, it's not enough. What about this one? Also not enough. Probably because it's dirt. Nope. To the clothing factory. It's 150 meters already, so that wouldn't be enough anyway. Looks like we need more education in the area. But I believe once we have the secret police, this will thin out the amount of highly educated workers quite nicely. And the secret police won't take very long to finish construction. Then we'll add that change and set it to like 8 workers, add some police cars. Some private cars, which I guess I could get from our storage. Don't have to buy them. We do have some spare vehicles here. Just gotta wait for the construction to finish. Let's add the maintenance office here, because we can drive workers here really quickly. And then we'll assign the amount of the type of vehicles randomly, like just relocate. Yeah, that should get built quite quickly. The workers are literally here and getting driven over there. One more load of workers should be enough to get it constructed. We're down workers in the chemical plant now because we're adding more buildings here. the HQ, for example, drawing a lot of workers away from this area. Still spewing out pollution, still waiting for that one to get built. Let's also assign this road construction. And yeah, materials are all available locally now. And I think we will go towards researching scrap metal recycling, because we can get the scrap metal delivered up here too. The dump trucks should be able to deliver the scrap metal, I believe. They can just get the scrap metal from the vehicle recycling, or we can just make a dedicated storage for collecting all of the scrap metal from the area and then drive it up here for refining. I'm currently hesitating setting up more settlements because of our money issues, but the metal scrap recycling can probably be done by another settlement. Plus we need the research to actually do it. Alright, get our vehicle storage and fill this up with vehicles. Set the government loyalty to 30 and set the worker count to 8, and we'll start learning about the loyalty of our citizens. And then the amount of students should start going down. Don't believe we should have that many. Okay, footpath is done. We'll open this up to the maximum amount of workers to walk directly onto the construction site, so it gets built faster and I don't have to babysit it. Get the dump trucks here to the technical service. I don't think I need the police station right now, so we'll wait with that. I'll just leave it there and I'll start building more residential buildings. I think we'll have some in this area hooking up to this footpath coming down here. There's the waste storage in the way. This way. Making the footpaths face inwards. Maybe we can even set up a large football playground here. I do need to get the footpaths out though. I guess we could make it asymmetric a little bit and add a monument. We haven't built a bunch of monuments recently because of the Soviet Star just being so good. So we'll add another monument here, I think. Just to have it. Asphalt footpaths coming down this area. Not quite. And then this house. Okay, quick check. For this building, maybe you can reach everything. And this one is even closer, so yeah, everything is in range. 2 houses, football playground. This will hopefully deal with the waste in this area. If not, we can probably add another one, but this should be in range of everything. If Pidansk continues having the warning message about crime, then I might relocate these people from that building to a larger town, so they are more likely to get caught if they commit a crime. Let's take out more loans. Wow, I was able to take out 5 loans again, so this amount is going up. Before the interest rate kicked in. Less than 3 months now. Closer to 2 months. Before those loans start running out. And yeah, then we don't have to repay loans anymore, hopefully. I could try and get a footpath through here. I think this is probably too narrow, but maybe it works. It's close. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. So we have to start from... Does this work? Yes. Well, it worked once. Get a footpath through there as well, shortening travel distances a bit. And yeah, we'll just build 2 more houses. Most of the construction materials for these are available locally, so we only have to pay for the steel really, and the asphalt and concrete. Of course, the additional materials that I need to build them, but I'm repeating myself. We want to add another truck here? I think I do. Let's wait, we might have to buy replacement vehicles right now. Let's wait until we have 200,000 US dollars before filling up the distribution office with long haul trucks. Okay, secret police, you have your vehicles. Loyalties are known. We don't have any students here, so the loyalty requirement is set too high. Because they weren't studying recently and probably just had a general amount of issues. So now we have some students again. Get their loyalty boosted. Seems like we'll be doing fine here. And yeah, add some houses. Get more staff, get more workers, keep running our existing facilities, turn this one into a larger town, a much more dense town even. And Svidava will remain basically how it is right now, I think. There's no expansion plan for that. It was a good starting town, but it's not really intended to start growing. But it has the ability to send out workers with vehicles, which Prietin is not intended to do. Prietin is all local. But also, the option of having a parking lot here is not a problem, I guess. There might be a potential for something with vehicles from Prietin. I don't know right now. Dump trucks 3 kilometers outside of the search radius. Barely. But yeah, I believe these residential buildings and the football playground will be in range of the waste pickup from this garbage stand. Cool. Otherwise, no waste problems here, right? Looks okay. We will add another waste truck once we have our technical service constructed, which is happening right now. And then basically copy our technical service from over here in its assignments, and maybe also some snowplows. Water, sewage, and a large waste truck we already have, so we only need a small one and some snowplows, I guess. And that'll help with, like, if we have a fire over here during winter, our fire trucks have to get there, and if we can keep the bridge cleared, that would be nice. Put the bridge priority at 100% again, to make sure they keep that one cleared if possible. Interesting loan, I'll repay that. A little bit of profit last month, thanks to the bus export. What's your deal? Okay, you just had a minor breakdown, that's fine. How are our dump trucks looking? Dump trucks are all busy. The open haul trucks, not so much. But we can use them at some point for something else, like pulling fabric or clothing from the western border as well. Because at some point the fabric factory is going to start. And I think it might be time to start building that up. This one's going to be really expensive. But with the steel imports from the western border and most of the steel already being available, I think we'll be okay. Our income is really good on this side, so let's maybe start with the roads here and the factory connections. And then we'll build the fabric factory and the grain storage up. We'll stop exporting crops. We'll have to rework this area, get enough farming equipment to fill it up, and balance our needs based on how many resources go through here. I will need to have a water production facility for the fabric factory. 85% quality, which is water well levels of quality, so we can just have a water well somewhere, and that will give us the water. As long as there's not too much pollution, we'll be fine. This is not fine, for example. So having it right in between fields, not a good idea. Having it up here next to the technical service, not a bad idea. Or having it over here, I guess. We also need electricity in this area. I don't think I intend to have fields on this side, so we'll probably just drop the water well over here. And this slightly elevated terrain. Oh, we have some more snowplows here that then can go into the technical service. Set up the electricity for both. Okay, you know what? We are going to relocate that person out of that building. by relocating everyone out of that building. 13% criminality, 14% criminality. Should just drop you into a random building here. And then drop someone with low criminality back into that building. I guess it doesn't matter, it's probably going to populate itself soon enough. Although the amount of people here is quite low. Okay, maybe get some more migrants. You have a lot of students. That is the school bus route from Zhezhov and Pidansk to Duseni. I think that might be better if we drive you from Zhezhov to Karabadak, because that university last time was not busy anymore at all. So we might have to relocate our school bus route. Go from Zhezhov to Pidansk to Karabadak instead. Anyone who requires any education. Students or adults that have no education. So our school bus route will now not go to Duseni anymore, meaning that this area should not have issues getting enough education for its population. I believe that we have the problem here that maybe the loyalty setting is too high, so let's drop that down to 30 as well. Should give the citizens here enough ability to get education. Our secret police is also barely staffed, yeah. And the police in this area still holding up very well. I'll just leave you at full capacity. If we have the population for it, it's fine. Lots of complaints from you, not being able to get food. Don't have enough sellers here anymore. Because as the higher education starts propagating through our citizens, you are the building for highly educated workers. I'm not going to touch you. As that education starts propagating, yeah, other issues start happening, like buildings stopping to get enough workers. It seems like we were running out of education in this area significantly because I set the school way too low. So let's make sure we remedy that. Make sure anyone can buy anything they need, and make sure people can resume getting an education. This should fix itself over time. I could fix it with a few extra migrants, but now that they're getting food again, most of the time, yes, it should work itself out. Maybe get a few migrants. Okay. I don't know if the building where I just got migrants was assigned to the cableway station, so it made no difference whatsoever. It basically just drove more people into the car plant. Let's get some migrants that will actually have an impact on the school system. More staff. Yep, seems okay. So we have to get rid of the idea that this number is higher than this one, so we should import resources with that. No. We will try and migrate everything to US dollars, if possible, where it makes sense. Some resources still need to be exported in rubles to repay our loans, but the US currency is now the leading factor for us. The leading currency. Assign the maintenance construction office to technical service to get it constructed. TS Prietin. It is right next to Almavari Bridge, but it is still the technical service of Prietin. And that's the technical service of Svidama. Construction should be quick. And we'll relocate the vehicles in, get another small waste truck, relocate the snowplows in, set the bridge clearing priority to maximum, reduce dirt roads to nothing, gravel roads to 5%, and we have a new technical service. And we don't have to spend a lot of money anymore for building buildings, because we have materials here, which will help a lot. Let me check that the resource deliveries are all set to 90% except for the steel. Yes, they are. Prefabs and bricks. We are picking up from... Did I rename them wrong? I did rename them wrong. Prefabs east, bricks east, sorry, and prefabs east. Those are our eastern buildings. My bad. So we do have enough resources there, we just need to wait for the vehicles to get there and grab the materials and bring them over. Which will keep our vehicles busy at all times. How's the coal supply looking? Starting to fill up again. The distribution office from Svidava does have a dump truck in here, an MTGS. And this one is set to import coal if we don't have enough. So if less than 10% import. But if you are over 80%, you can start exporting coal to the west. So coal seems to be a good resource to export to the west. And if we are capable of filling this up enough, then I believe we should do that. The aggregates east are set to fill this to 90%. So if we can keep that up, then we can start exporting a little bit of coal. Factory connections getting built. Let's tackle the grain silo and its factory connection. Maybe we get this built before harvest season. I don't think so, but maybe. And then during winter I can probably tear all of this down, like most of it, and plan for a nice looking field setup that takes into account the whole terrain here. It's not as much room, but there's a decent amount of room here. And I guess these mountains could also allow us to just simply make gravel in this area. There's mountains everywhere. Not having a gravel processing plant here is a bit of a crime, I guess. We could just have a gravel facility here, attached to the cableway station. Not enough workers going to the gas power plant anymore, it looks like. Well, we are building more residential buildings, so hopefully it'll work out at some point. It'll take a lot of materials to build, lots of concrete. But we are going to build that with mostly our own materials except for the 155 tons of steel or however much it was. Yeah. The rest is all us. Let's check pollution. No problem here. Once the fabric factory and the second clothing factory are in place, we might start seeing problems, but I don't know. Technical services up. Copy the tasks. Send the snowplows over. Reduce priority for gravel and mud roads, increase priority for bridges. Bridge to our heating plant and power plant are very important. Water and sewage, still going to the customs house, yes. Don't have a water production in this area yet, and I'm not going to start hauling drinking water up here, that would be ridiculous. These vehicles will be relocated. We'll unassign these tasks, so once that other vehicle comes back we can also relocate it. And then we'll add another small waste truck to deal with the pickup from Prietin. Okay. Lots of construction. How far are our loans? 15 days, so we are starting to run through our loans now, which might mean that the monthly amount goes down enough where we have to take out fewer loans. We'll have to see. I am still worried about the maximum amount we can borrow, but it's continuously climbing, so I think us building next to the western border is probably going to help a lot. But we'll have to wait and see. Let's go back to Zhlopolatsk and make sure that we don't have issues anymore with education and shopping. That the things over here are slowly starting to stabilize. The amount of teachers and staff is looking really good. As more people get an education, more staff will become available and our education will accelerate. And then once the teachers are basically done and we don't have that many students anymore, they can move over to the university again and start helping over there. And our shopping center is doing fine again. I'm not going to unassign the building that I have assigned to it right now. Basically forcing, well, 15 workers per shift to go there, plus 12 I guess, it's a little bit more. 20 workers. The bauxite ship is coming back. We don't have enough bauxite to run it full immediately, so we don't need another ship. If this were to fill up before the ship fill up over 1,200 or however much the ship can carry, 1,120. If we had more than that, I would probably start building this processing plant. I guess I could start building that one too. We will start building more buildings on the eastern side once we start hauling steel from the western side to the eastern storage to assist. But first I want this one to at least have like 30% steel. And then we'll plan a settlement for waste recycling, for steel scrap recycling, which needs 2 researchers if I remember correctly. We need the general waste separation into the steel recycling. So we can have a waste separation plant and steel recycling in the same area. Or I go for metallic scraps first, because we want to filter out as much metal as possible out of the waste that we get. But I guess the scrap metal that we do get is already filtered out mostly. I have to check our scrapyard. We have to haul a lot of scrap metal from the scrapyard over. There's a little bit of mixed waste coming from here, but it's mostly other stuff. So yeah, should be fine. Anyway, let's continue our construction of the grain silo storage. Still in the foundation phase. Might be worth it adding our maintenance construction office here, because it has a good concrete mixer too. And let's even add our third one, which has Not as good of a complement of vehicles as the other one, but still, add as many vehicles as possible. We have 2 months to build that. Not sure we'll get it done. We're still sowing some fields, so... Okay, these are too low fertility. You could get sown, but yeah, we need to add more farming vehicles eventually to make use of our capacity with the large farm that we have here, that we neglected a little bit. Definitely potential for more harvest. Two snowplows, large and small truck, and the water truck needs to be relocated here, so that gets rid of the free technical services in this area. And this one. The water coming from here to the fabric factory also needs to be hooked up, and that one then needs to send its sewage down here as well. Let's take a look at the terrain. That should be mostly a downward slope, so yeah, I believe we can just hook that up in here next to the other sewage discharge and it'll be fine. And we'll put in a switch, and then we can hook up the town to the sewage as well. And maybe put a sewage unloading station in the area so we don't have to continue exporting sewage anymore. That we are doing. It's not that much money, but as we start growing our western area, I think it'll make sense to have it a little bit extra thought put into that. Let's get the measurement tool. So we are 50 meters, and then it slopes. Okay, this is higher, but that's okay. The sewage over here is coming from this area, which is 48 meters. This is 50, so if we have a sewage switch somewhere over here, we'll be fine. Maybe on the other side. This one. Gravel will be enough. I assume the height is still fine. So we'll hook up this one to the town. And the other one to the industry. And the rest to the discharge. Works fine. It's barely able to get through here though. Like it's almost getting out of the terrain. And that's a 4,000 workday task. Maybe if we follow this road a little bit we can lower the amount. That's 500, that's 600 days plus another, that's 800-ish. A 1,000, yeah, that's much fewer days following the terrain down the slope a little bit. That'll be good enough. And that's prefab panels and a bit of concrete and some boards. So, also free. We don't have a storage for fabric here, we don't have a storage for clothing here. I don't think that will be necessary. Might have been better to set up a warehouse in between the fabric and clothing factories, but we'll just draw out the clothing from the factories directly. And the fabric as well. Speaking of fabric, our distribution office, which is set to transport fabric to our repair stations. Is that one set to load fabric from the warehouse? It is. Okay, so we are not having any fabric imports from you. We are out of money. That'll have to be a loan at 5.3, which I didn't want, but I guess I wasn't paying attention for the money. Now we're back to 5.2, so let's increase our loans a little bit. As soon as we get more residential buildings, the profit of this area will start increasing again. Hopefully we're not getting too close to the clothing factory. I'm building quite close to this. I wanted to use this area more, but I felt like this would look quite nice here, so we'll see. This could be a problem with the pollution, I just realized. I could cancel it. Not much construction has started yet, but we'll just deal with it. We still have the option for one extra research to reduce our pollution. So, let's see what happens. Need more workers in the asphalt plant. But the concrete plant will become much more important. Maybe I need to add more prison buses. We have enough for 300 seconds. Let's add 3 more prison buses to the prisoners Svidava to CO industry. Prisoner Svidava to CO industry and go there. Okay. I think I'm going to put these microbuses in the vehicle storage. I don't want them to sit in here and then potentially draw a replacement vehicle. They're just going to be in the vehicle storage down here, available for anyone to use it as a replacement. And we still have a lot of personal cars here, so no one has come to pick anyone else up again. Or at least not a huge amount. You can probably deliver the remaining personal cars over. It gives us a little bit extra. And we'll just build buses for now. Giving us a little bit of extra profit. Just enough. Once we have the whole residential area set up and figured out if the clothing, fabric, grain storage area works fine or if it causes too much pollution, we will set up the next settlement, which will deal with metal scrap recycling. And it might be a good idea to, instead of setting it up towards this way, maybe we should have it down in this area. The road towards where the metal scrap comes from. But then again, I also wanted to potentially import metal scrap from the east. To just recycle it. So I guess there's 2 ways to do that. I will upgrade this road to asphalt, but let's wait for our constructions to finish. With the road now done, you can reach this waste storage. Very good. We will need hazardous waste storage in here, because the fabric factory makes hazardous waste. So it makes sense to allow for that. Do not forget about it. A bit more gravel, a bit more asphalt. You're loading very slowly. You're loading from the customs house. I think we are okay again to not have to do that, but let's take a look to our gravel storage first. It's not looking too good yet. I guess our distribution office is still struggling bringing materials here. But regardless, we will pick up gravel from this area. The aggregate distribution office is quite busy handling the resource transportation to this area, so... let them continue that. Let me check something real quick. Just a minute. Okay, I just wanted to see if there was maybe an update of the game, but no, I didn't see one. We're not gonna finish the grain storage this year, but for next year it'll be ready, and then this truck will become obsolete, or go to a distribution office to export only if necessary. Could become part of this one. I did not change the power line again, because I guess it's not that urgent, but yes, I would like this town to be hooked up here as well. And then we can get rid of this power line. Maybe I'll leave that up until we have our metal recycling set up, because this whole power line could then be turned into steel. How are we doing with board exports? Very badly. Still a lot of boards present here. All of the vehicles are busy hauling construction materials right now instead of doing board exports. But we're still making a very good profit. And that's also mainly due to not having to do any construction and maintenance with like imported goods. So we'll just add more covered hull trucks, open hull trucks. We can buy 2 more for about 170,000. And then the distribution office will be full. Very old vehicle, ought to be replaced at some point, but right now it's okay. Still waiting on asphalt. That's a good amount of delivery, and that will probably get... where is it? Asphalt. Only 3 tons. Well, I guess it's a small dump truck. We'll need another delivery to be done after that. Okay, so you won't be able to get any... Oh, you do have a worker in here still, okay. Unfortunately, okay, the prisoners are going in now. 1 more prisoner. So we should have enough prison buses here now to run this more consistently. The dump truck's always having the option to load something. And the extras go into the clothing factory for now. Let me just take a quick look. Fabric, crops, water, chemical imports, yes. Internal storage of 12 tons. So that'll last for 24 days, that's fine. And you just need fabric. Drinking water in this area will need to be supplied. Electricity, water, and sewage. I guess sewage I need to think more about the sewage. Damn it, they started constructing this. We need another switch here because I need another sewage tank for this, so we will have to demolish this. Oh, they just delivered the resources here, but I cancelled the construction and the resources vanished. That is okay by me, that's fine. So we have our sewage here. Was just a few boards, it's fine. I can't see the connection because of the tooltip. Okay. So before we build any of that, let me pause real quick. We'll get a sewage tank for the area. We'll get a water tank to be delivered by trucks. Maybe not directly to the waste storage. Put it here. And then the sewage pipe. Let me redo these. Let me hook them up from up here instead. And this way. That'll give me the option of having another sewage pipe here if something needs to be connected. But yeah, I think this is okay now. That'll give us water and sewage for the industries, and electricity we already have planned down here. And the last thing we will need is water, which a small water pump can do. Because this fabric factory will need a water import. Or water input. Medium-sized pipes will do fine. And yeah, I'll curve that along here and get that to the water pump. Let's refresh our loan to get a little bit of extra cash. Okay. Okay, since we're not making the harvest in time with that much steel, let's focus on this residential building getting the last asphalt delivery here that it needs. And then a bit of steel, lots of prefab panels, building the building up. University is doing okay. I'm not sure if we have enough highly educated workers. I mean, we do. Yeah, that should be fine. Like, limiting the amount of highly educated workers is okay. Trying to boost the loyalty with it. You're looking a little bit thin, but I think you can still manage. The amount is not that high. I will get more migrants though. It should help things like the secret police and other facilities before you run into a crisis, like not enough doctors or something. Wouldn't want to have that now, would we? Reduce the student loyalty to 30 as well. And see where you go from here. And hopefully we get enough police officers. I might empty out one building and replace it with a bunch of highly educated workers. Like once the building inside Prietin finishes up, I'll relocate all of you and then relocate one building from this area over to Svidava, which is almost all highly educated workers. Shouldn't take too long. As soon as the last dump truck has arrived, the other resources will be like 3 deliveries of prefabs and 1 of steel, and then that's done. At least we're done with the groundworks. This will be very costly with regards to steel. We don't have the money to finish it quite yet. I will put it to low priority. We want to finish this area first because it will give us a bit more money. And reduce our expenses. Maybe I should leave this house out of this. No, we'll build it. We'll see what happens. Okay, scrapping facility area. I mean, I could start planning it right now. It's basically another settlement. We need another settlement to research, so... But I don't have the money to afford another settlement construction right now, so I feel like planning it is a little bit premature. Maybe we'll have the metal scrap yard in this area. And I don't think they make any pollution anyway. Steel recycling. Oh, they do make pollution, okay. Not much, but a little bit. Definitely can be within walking distance. The fabric factory makes more pollution than the clothing factory. 2 clothing factories make as much pollution as a fabric factory. And then we have basically 2 fabric factories here. Oh, they're already sending tons and tons of steel here. That's going to be expensive. Wish you would have prioritized that, but that's okay. Let's pump up our steel imports. Steel West to 30%. Which we definitely can't afford, but I would like that storage to slowly start filling up. Wow, we almost got all the steel here that we need. Just waiting on the concrete. Hello Sancho, welcome. How are my loans doing? They're now starting to run out by themselves, so the duration means that some of them will disappear. We have 100 million now, but the total amount we can borrow is still going up, but yeah, we still are lacking money. But I still feel confident that we are on the right path. We're also now using Eastern construction materials here that we are producing ourselves, so the only thing we need to import is steel. The only thing that is holding us back. We're basically driving resources from the Eastern storage to the Western storage on a long road trip. And otherwise we're starting to import steel from the western border, which is quite expensive. $50,000 US for 30 tons. Or more like 60,000 for 30 tons, so almost 2,000 US now. One more steel delivery for the grain storage. Should go to the residential building first, and it did. Get that building built up. Farm, grain storage. Well, I guess I would like this one to finish construction first. But I did not assign you here, so... And yeah, I will relocate one building from Svidava over. So that we have enough highly educated workers in this area. Prison, bus platform, this one does not need highly educated workers. You're assigned to the school, police station and secret police. I think it'll make sense for you to get a fresh set of workers here. Maybe it's slowly fixing itself, but we do need to keep up with the demand of the police station, so let's replace you. Like, you can go anywhere. You'll be okay. Don't have enough road cranes in this area. I guess we can brute force through that with only one road crane, it's fine. Okay. 135 workers here. And 146 workers back. Out of this building. You are directly sending to the bus stop. You're directly sending to the cableway station, and that's mostly highly educated workers. This building then, it'll be 51% happiness, that's quite low. It's probably the low loyalty. Anyway, Svidava Flats into this building. And then this building back. That'll put a lot of highly educated workers back into this area. And they can start working in the police station, dealing with crime issues. Okay, we have a broken vehicle inside here. Almost 15 years old, but not quite. We'll send you over here. What do we have here? 4 buses. Okay, you have to go out. You have been repaired sufficiently. The other vehicle, we have to get a replacement vehicle for it though. That one is too old. So I'll buy another bus. Just able to afford that. Get some more loans. Students Bureau to Beatas. The raw to Beatas. From here to here. With an end station in Verra. So it should be quite quick. Not sure why we're starting to have ambulance issues. I guess the small clinic only has one ambulance, unfortunately. Well, can't change that. Where is... You're also at 100% and broken down here. Zhlopolatsk You can repair down back to 26, so go here and get some repairs. Zhlopolatsk bus end station. I guess if you drive there and our repair station is not free and always has to repair a lot of personal cars that get stuck in here, then no wonder you're not gonna get any repairs done. Unfortunate. Still waiting on a fix. We'll wait until you are repaired and send you back out. Okay, it's not too slow, but concrete deliveries are lagging behind a little bit. Would be faster from the border, I guess. Because the border is right here. The large farm in Prietin farm is on fire. There were 2 large fire trucks on their way. Barely any damage. Okay. Problem resolved. Need more trucks. Get the crops in. Which right now is not important yet. Unless we get the grain silo up. Our export truck can't keep up anyway. Looks like you're having a breakdown, that's fine. Yeah, we'll deal with that next year. Probably set up the fields in between. Give me a notification once you're done building. Crime over here, let's cancel the medium crimes and minor crimes and focus on what's important. Those that we can still resolve with a decent chance. Lots of money overdue now. Accumulating more and more debt. Could reset the loan again. I don't want to add another loan. Not really. How's our sewage piping going? seems okay. I need to assign the construction here too. Still not making enough biological waste to increase the throughput on our farm. But with the fabric factory we might. Yeah, lots of construction tasks going on. We're basically out of money because I'm continuously trying to get more and more steel here. And that's basically putting these trucks to do extra work, which they shouldn't really do. We will have to get some replacement vehicles soon. You're still on your way to the depot, still not repaired. Let's get a second loan. Let's start on this side now too. Loans are good, right? Once the steel storage has been filled, the amount of money we have to spend will cease. Or will be much lower. And then we can start repaying again. But yeah, I would like to have enough money for eventual vehicle replacements. 2 million was probably overkill. But yeah, let's fill the steel storage. Uh, 2,000 per ton of steel. Okay, this is less than a factor of 5 again. It is still higher. Maybe it is better importing it in rubles. Yeah. I think I have to get the steel in rubles because this is less than a factor of 4 to 1. Less than that. Okay. Then I stand corrected. We'll stop importing steel. And getting that one from the eastern storage as well. We already assigned that. And this one will be filled by one of you. Looks like by you. Steel West, 30% please. Yeah, I guess we have to get the resources in rubles still. Even though it feels more expensive, the ratio is much better. Steel is too expensive on the western border. Sure. Are you getting repairs? Yes, good. And repairs are done, so you can go back out. You are out of fuel next to a fuel station, which is assigned to the distribution office of Svidava, which does have a tanker driving to the storage right now. Or did we set that one to be unloaded? That is a very high possibility. Sochor gas station. No, set to be loaded. to unload resources here. So I guess we'll assign that one to the distribution office here instead, because it's closer. Get rid of the truck from Svidala. Okay, now the truck is heading here, but next time we'll use the other one. So the fuel station. This one's also empty. Okay. You don't load from the oil storage, you just load from the customs house at all times. I did not want to do that. I wanted to rename you for the abbreviation of Free Distribution Office next to Mormosk. Okay, so we'll start repaying these loans. Start with this one, 1 million off of it. No more steel imports from the western side. We are going to use the rubles for that, even though it feels like it's way more expensive. It's probably that because we just imported a lot of steel from the western border and the steel price probably went up. And it's gonna drop down again to where it makes sense to import from the west again, but hopefully we can get the steel recycling set up and drop that down a little bit. I guess as soon as we're done with importing from the east and filled up our storage sufficiently enough, we're gonna turn back on the imports from the western side. Because yeah, I think the steel price is probably better on the west if we don't do a large amount of imports. We'll have to wait and see. Lots of things to be constructed. Everything going pretty well. The only problem we are currently dealing with is the high crime rate in Svidala. And that is for lack of general amount of workers here. We have less police staff than we have police officers. In the sense that we should have about 20 police officers for 10 police staff. Sorry, now we have less police staff. Sorry, now we have more police staff and less police officers. I guess it's balancing itself around. Need more highly educated workers is what it is. The newer cases that are coming in are being solved, just these ones are too old to deal with. So I believe this area will be okay. And the university should be catching up. Beatas is starting to have crime issues. Not enough police officers. You are out of capacity for students. We are running a school bus here from Viror, and running that many people here is probably the same problem that we have in other areas. So I think also these school buses need to go to Karabadak instead. So instead of Beatas, you go over here. And we hope that we have enough capacity in the technical university to make that happen. Just run you at full capacity. You are turning into the university town that you were supposed to be with the technical university. You're completely broken down. You are actually set to head to the scrapyard, but I guess you're not leaving, which is unfortunate. And another broken bus here. Can only repair up to 70%, only 14 years old. That's annoying. You know what? Just go to the scrapyard. You're also almost broken. But you can be repaired back to 64. So you will go here. And we'll wait until you're done repairing. The students in that bus will not have a good time. Now it's better to export in rubles again. Nope, we'll keep it. We'll keep that on US dollars, it's fine. How much are we paying each month? 50,000. Not great. 1,600 per day should be doable with the electricity export by themselves, maybe? Not quite. We did have to buy some replacement vehicles that we assumed we would have to do. Almost done with the grain silo, and then next year we can have a proper harvest. We can expand our fields, we can expand the amount of vehicles we have inside the farm, buying them with rubles, and get a lot of crops here that we then turn into fabric throughout the year. And maybe we can just export the fabric through the customs house and then pulling it from the eastern side from here instead of pushing it to this area. Like the second clothing factory is not a necessity. Even if we're generating too much pollution, we'll probably have to leave this clothing factory away from here. Not build it up and just deal with one clothing factory. And move the extra fabric down to our other clothing factories on the eastern border. Definitely need to make more crops. They are getting expensive if I have to import them. You're stuck. So are you. That's fine. We have more parking lots than that. More vehicles could come in. I guess we have one more parking lot. Okay, police station here, still fine. And this one is now okay as well. I'll leave it open to however many workers they deem necessary. And they should balance their needs for police work with their needs for running our HQ. I guess the fabric factory is also assigned now, so that's fine. We will have to stop the imports for fabric for the clothing factory, because the resources do not get pushed in there directly. How's the situation here? Crime. No police officers anymore at all. Barely any students. And yeah, the university education has depleted. So we'll take you. You only have like 3 highly educated workers. We're going to distribute you among Karabadak, filling up all houses from here. And then we will grab one building from a town that has a lot of highly educated workers and drop them over. Seems like I have to decentralize more with the universities, or just make sure that the town doesn't overflow with students. Right now I'm trying to run the universities at a very low capacity, and that's not working. I might have to get migrants instead of relocating people. I don't want to take another building from this area, from Prietin. I guess if I take... yeah, we'll take you and refill you with regular citizens. Okay, got 12 highly educated workers back in Prietin, and all of the other highly educated workers here, which can now restart operations by running the clinic that is somewhere. Running the secret police, running the police station. Basically continuing where we left off. And we should get now fewer people here into the university, meaning that this will not overflow. Asphalt plant. Looks like there's a switch on fire. Or the power plant stopped operating? No. Maybe we're exporting too much. Probably had a low amount of workers in the power plant for a short bit and the electricity was insufficient. I wanted to check the amount of students in Carsachstan since we added another relatively large town to supply students to it. Seems okay. We might have to add more buses to the bus route, since Viror is further away from Carsachstan than it is from Piatis. You're done repairing, you're very broken down. I don't think it makes sense to send you back out. Yeah, you're gonna get replaced anyway. Alright, give me the bus route. And students Viror to Piatis. We will rename said bus route. So, those students are going to Carsachstan instead. So having university towns kind of makes sense. Okay. You also are done repairing. Your reliability is a bit better. Maybe you can last a year until you get replaced too. I need to take out another loan, and by another loan I mean 3. Yeah, I'm constantly running out of loans now, which is nice. Our US currency is looking pretty bad, but we're doing a lot of construction tasks here. Which still adds the need to import cement and bitumen. And I guess we're also doing a lot of vehicle repairs. Yeah, importing the steel from the western border looked good, but it was not that great. Then again, no, it was good. It was good. So this is 2,000 per ton. This is okay. Shouldn't go any higher though. Okay, let's make sure that the construction offices take everything from here? They do. Same as this maintenance office. Everything highlighted. Okay, that means we basically don't have expenses other than mechanical components, electronic components. We still need to research those as well. I was going towards that. The last research that I did was the chemical plant. And the next step in that would be the electrical components factory. Plastics, chemicals and steel. Plastics and steel we would need to get, but chemicals we could use our own. And that requires a lot of workers. Definitely its own town, probably. Definitely its own town, probably. Makes a lot of sense. Gas power plant is on fire. Test for our fire trucks. No electricity here while this thing burns. Not a lot of firefighters here. Temperature too low. Yes. Fire extinguished. Resume operation. I might have to just set up the import here. That if there's a problem with electricity, we still... Nah, it overrides our electricity. I don't like that. I would need a priority switch to deal with that, but I don't want to set one up. Okay, a few more deliveries for the grain storage. Harvest season is almost over. Lots of crops not getting stored correctly, but as soon as the grain silo's up, we would be able to get them in. For next year, we have to get a lot of trucks here to get the crops stored up. But I will rework those fields, even though I will lose the fertilizer. I guess I don't have to rework those yet. I'll start putting in some fields that will look a little bit nicer. And then once these ones have been harvested, I guess I can remove them and rebuild them. Like these ones can probably already be removed, the ones that were harvested. I guess for one harvest extra it's fine. That grain storage was really expensive, hopefully it'll be worth it. We do need the fabric factory for it to make sense. But that can also be built next year. $48 tons of concrete heading here right now. Need one extra delivery and then we have everything we need. I wonder now that the resources are all delivered here. Our trucks are probably back to focusing on board exports. So we might start seeing a little bit of extra income again now that we can export some boards, which do make a decent amount of money. I gotta give them that. Not at the start as much, but the demand for it is quite high now. 1.6k US dollars. It's not bad. More than an oil truck. Which comes to around 400 US dollars per truck. But the main benefit for exporting oil is still reducing the fuel price as much as possible. If we check the fuel price right now, this is a factor of 6 to 1. So importing fuel from the western border is probably better. But we do have loans on the western border that I would like to get rid of before I start that, commit to that. Plus we do need a dedicated distribution office with a bunch of trucks to actually start making that a reality. Looks like we imported something really expensive. very, very expensive. I guess I don't care that much about penalty rates. I wonder if you can run a republic with no money in your bank account, a bunch of loans, and then always trading exports for imports directly. Like, we have no money, but we're basically still getting resources for the amount that we export. I wonder if it's possible to run a republic on that. I mean, the penalties, the interest rate would accumulate quite badly, but who knows. 40 years old, definitely needs a replacement vehicle at some point, fairly soon. I guess it'll take a long time before we run full on chemicals. And I could export chemicals to the west and still import it on the east. Well, we have one truck hauling chemicals all the time. At least we should have one truck. There it is, bringing chemicals to the food factory warehouse, where we have a quite high number of chemicals waiting around. Are we still running chemical imports on the eastern side? I assume that maybe the fabric factory is directly connected to chemical imports. We definitely still have chemical imports, so let's go and investigate where they are coming from. I mean, there's only the fabric factory in Prietin is probably set up correctly. I think it might be the water. This one is probably directly connected to the customs house, and yes, it is. You are going to get your chemicals from the food factory warehouse. And no more imports directly. And the other chemicals are delivered here. And you are grabbing them from the food factory warehouse. So the water wasn't hooked up yet properly, but we corrected that. Should reduce our expenses on the eastern border a bit. And make use of the chemicals. That does, however, mean that the chemical storage here will not run full at any point soon. I think that maybe 96 tons is way too much. Let's drop that down to 10% and increase the food storage again. 48 tons is enough for now. Still can change that later. Not enough sellers. That's not good. Grain storage is up. Probably not going to get all of the grain in that is still out here, but we might be able to get a little bit more. And yeah, next year we'll be in much better shape. We'll also finish the construction of the fabric factory, reducing the amount of fabric we have to transport here by distribution office from the eastern side, reducing the amount of fuel expenses. That will be quite helpful. But I think I'm going to put a cut in here for today. So we will continue that another time. Let me take a quick look if I can rate anyone. I don't see another streamer that has marked themselves as English, so I don't think I'll rate you somewhere. You can go to the Workers and Resources Twitch and find another stream if you want. But for now, we're going to cut this short, end the stream here. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. We'll continue this at another point. Until then, take care, stay safe, and as always, maybe I'll see you next time.